Let's just get right into it. The entire digital landscape is shifting and it's happening fast. All those content strategies you've been using, the ones you've relied on for years to get seen, they're becoming obsolete. AI and search are completely rewriting the rulebook. So the real question is your content actually reaching the people you want it to? The answer might just surprise you.
This quote really hits the nail on the head. We're stepping into a totally new era. The old playbook for SEO, stuffing keywords and chasing backlinks, that's just not going to cut it anymore. We're dealing with a much more complex, much more fragmented reality. So let's break down exactly what that looks like.
All right, here's the game plan. We're going to kick things off with the new rules of search. Then we'll dive into the massive divide on social media, get into Google's war on something called parasite SEO, uncover a huge technical blind spot for AI, talk about why international content is basically invisible, and then we'll tie it all together and figure out what this means for you.
Look, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Search is fragmenting, and it is happening incredibly fast. You've got Google's AI overviews changing how everything gets cited, you've got new AI crawlers that can't see what Google sees, and you have these huge demographic shifts in who uses which platform. The idea that you can have one single unified search strategy, yeah, that's officially a thing of the past.
So the first place we see this fragmentation is in social media. If you're still just lumping social into one bucket in your marketing plan, you are already way behind. I mean, really understanding your audience segments isn't just a best practice anymore, it is an absolute necessity for survival.
So you see a chart like this, and it looks pretty standard, right? YouTube and Facebook are still the big dogs, dominating overall usage. But here's the thing, this high-level view is super misleading. The real story, the one that actually matters for your strategy, is buried a little deeper in the demographics. And bam, here it is in black and white. Just look at this gap for Instagram. 80% of adults under 30 are on it, but for folks 65 and up, it's just 19%. Your audience isn't just on social media, they're in very specific places depending on their age. If you ignore this, you're pretty much just shouting into the wind.
Now, while audiences are splitting up on social, Google is fighting its own battle. They've basically declared war on a sneaky ranking tactic they call site reputation abuse. And trust me, this is a total game changer, especially for content publishers.
So what is this stuff exactly? Okay, imagine a third party, say a company selling something sketchy, pays a really trusted website, like a big news outlet, to publish their crummy content. The whole goal is to piggyback on that trusted site's authority to shoot up the search rankings for keywords they'd never have a chance at on their own. And you've totally seen this before, right? A weird product review on a major magazine's website or a spammy-feeling article on a university's domain. In Google's eyes, this tricks users, and they are coming down on it hard. The takeaway here couldn't be clearer. What used to be seen as a clever little revenue stream is now a massive risk that could get your whole site slapped with a penalty. Okay. Next up is a huge technical issue that's kind of hiding in plain sight. As everyone is scrambling to optimize for AI, a lot of folks are forgetting one fundamental, critical weakness. Most AI crawlers, the bots that feed info to systems like ChatGPT, they can't process JavaScript. And here's why that is such a big deal. For years, we've just assumed that crawlers work like a browser. Googlebot can execute all the JavaScript and see all the cool dynamic content you have. But these new AI crawlers, nope, they can't do that. They only see the raw, basic HTML, which means if your main content only loads after JavaScript runs, to these AI systems, your page is completely blank. So how do you fix it? Well, it's kind of funny. We have to go back to basics. We're talking about the fundamentals of technical SEO. Things like server-side rendering, where the fully loaded page is sent from the server, aren't just nice to have anymore. They are absolutely essential if you want AI to see you. The bottom line, your most important stuff has to be in that initial HTML, no JavaScript required.
The next piece of this fragmentation puzzle is language. The old way of doing international SEO was all about technical signals, right? You'd use hreflang tags to tell search engines, hey, show this German page to German users. But it looks like AI-driven search, well, it's not really playing by those same rules. So you really have to ask the question, does AI actually care about all that careful language targeting you set up? Well, a really eye-opening experiment gave us a pretty clear answer on that one. This is absolutely wild. In this experiment, someone asked ChatGPT a question in German.
Now, you'd think it would find the best German language source, right? Wrong. Instead of using a detailed native German site that was right there, it found a less detailed English site, translated it on the fly, and served that up as the answer. This just completely shatters the old model.
So you might be thinking, well, if AI is just going to translate stuff on its own, why should I even bother translating my site? Oh, but you should. You absolutely should. The difference is this number, a staggering 327%. That's the huge visibility boost that properly translated sites get in AI searches compared to their untranslated competition. The cost of not translating your content is real, and it is severe. Having professionally translated content sends a strong signal of authority to these AI systems. One study showed a Spanish retailer showing up 64% less in English searches just because their site wasn't translated. And even worse, when they did get cited, the link often sent people to a clunky Google Translate page, not their actual website. You lose the traffic and you lose control. Okay, so we've looked at social media, Google's new policies, some deep technical stuff, and international content. And they might all seem like totally separate problems, but they're not. They are all connected by one single powerful theme.
And that theme is fragmentation. Everything is breaking apart. Your audience is fragmented across different platforms and age groups. Your visibility is fragmented between crawlers that can read your site and AIs that can't. And your authority is fragmented across different languages if you're not treating them all as top priority. The days of a one-size-fits-all strategy are well and truly over.
So, this all boils down to the one question you have to be asking yourself right now. Forget about the big, vague metrics for a second and get really specific. Does your content actually reach the specific systems and the specific audiences that are critical for your business? All the insights we covered today came directly from the HighDegree marketing newsletter. If you want to stay ahead of these kinds of complex changes, you should really subscribe. You can find it at highdegree.substack.com. Thanks for tuning in.